Test, test. Okay, that's Okay, how's that? Okay, welcome everybody. Sorry for the little false start we had going on here, especially being in the dark. So, welcome. We got a decent crowd again. You know, I'm all about trying to get people in the club room, and I just love seeing people coming, especially for a bee competition. So, anybody new? How'd you hear about us? Yeah, this, I recognize you. Welcome. Yeah, and so as you see a little note here, the name tags are in for those of you who ordered them. They're up here on the desk. For those of you listening at home, whenever you're in the club room again, they'll be on our magnet board over at the front right-hand corner, and they'll be in the lower left-hand corner of that. So, how many people made it to the swap meet? It was a great time, good number. It's a great time. We had, it seems like most of the members who were selling were reasonably pleased. They got rid of some of their stuff and made a little bit of money, hopefully, in the process. And we had a decent number of outsiders coming in. And I just want to thank everybody. Okay, it was a little bit of effort, but it was, I think, worth it. And part of what we were doing, and along with other members selling, we were selling some equipment that we excavated from the bowels of the club room, and we were getting rid of some of, not getting rid of, we were selling off some of our apparel that we have marked down, and there's still some out in the gathering room. And I want to tell you, just to give you frame of reference, we cut the prices in half about 2 months ago when we started selling this. And then I cut another 30% off of that for the swap meet. So the prices you see out there are severely reduced. And that's the end of the stuff. It probably won't be till the first of the year when we get our new, we're ordering new items and assessing what people are going to like and whatnot, and colors and so forth. And the prices are going to be regular prices. So if you find a size and a color and a style you like out there, tonight's the night to scarf it up. So next week we have a print competition. We only have 4 of those a year, so going creative. The print box is now, I've got just outside the door here on the right as you go outside. If you, I don't think we have anything going on before next Friday, but if you're going to meet somebody here, you can drop them off still. If you're going to bring prints next week, next Friday night, please don't come in at 7:29. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens at the very end. The images have to be logged in, they have to be photographed, and judges have to score them. So if you can come in earlier, it would be a very helpful for our people who are volunteering to help on this. And then the next Friday, we are going to be closed because that'll be Black Friday. As hard as it is to believe, that's how quickly it's coming. And then the 26th, we're also closed day after Christmas so that you can enjoy your holidays with your family. So then the next one, December 5th, this is interesting. I just briefly looked at this today. So David Day is going to be doing intentional camera movement in the studio, which is kind of cool. He uses like normal things that you might find in your desk, paper clips, pens, whatever. But it's done in the studio. So when we hit these, there's snow coming. We've already seen one. And you want to be hunkered down in your basement or wherever you like to shoot, this will give you some material for that. It's a Zoom, but the club room will be open. You get the idea that I like seeing people in the club room? Okay, every year our brick and mortar stores around this time do special sale days where they have all kinds of different things going on. They'll have, I don't use it to get rid of your old photo. We just got rid of some of our old photo equipment. But there's other things to do. This is Pixel is going to have it on the 5th and 6th of December. And then the next weekend, Dodd's going to have it on the 12th and 13th. And they do things like they have giveaways, they do some seminars, they have manufacturer reps come in. It's really good time to, I run into a lot of people, you know, if you go to the stores during those 2 days. So not to forget, the 24th of January will be coming pretty quickly. The Lonsdales are here. I know they're rolling on getting all the stuff done for this. This is a very well-attended event. I always remember it as being a lot of fun and crowded, which is a good thing. Okay, so last week I showed you that we've got a library now that I kind of rearranged, moved some cabinets and so forth. I don't know how you guys feel. I mean, there's probably some OCD people in here that want everything categorized and Dewey Decimal and all that stuff. That's not how I put the books in here. I put them in here based on if they would fit in the shelf. And if they didn't, I moved the shelf and put more in. But if you're like me and you go to the grocery store when they've moved everything around and then you can't find what you're looking for, that's not a bad thing either, because then you stumble on things, oh, maybe I'd like this, which is probably why they rearrange the shelves. So if we've got a librarian that wants to do it, feel free to categorize them, Dewey Decimal or whatever. The only categories that they're in now is if they're like Time Life and those other books, you can see the volumes. And the bottom right are all Dave Bush's books on different cameras, and he's got some other books in there on that. So following along with trying to get people in the club room, I'm stepping out here. So we're going to do a game, very short game. We got laughter happening already. You people at home are going to be really sorry you didn't come. So this is kind of like Trivial Pursuit and Let's Make a Deal. So the question is, this building has a number on it. It's numbered. Raise your hand if you know what number of building this is. Come on down. One person knew it. One person. It's on the front of the building, up at the peak. Yep, it's right there. It does. It does. So you are the proud owner. Some people are laughing. How long have you been doing photography? Okay, so you know this is a potato masher. This is a Sun Pack. They had Honeywells. So that is yours. But you can keep that or you can exchange it for what's in this bag. You get the bag too. Okay? You also get the bag. Dum, 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 dum. Okay. You got to put that away. You don't get that. So what has he won? There's a turtle. No, there's. So what we have, and you do get the bag has some value. This is a Nikon Coolpix 995. I didn't see, yeah, it does this. And yeah, it's there is a battery in it. I don't know about a charger. And it does come complete with a 64 megabyte card. Woo, woo, woo. So there you go. Our first contestant is going to go away fully pleased, I'm sure. Yay. So people at home, you got to come in here. We're giving away prizes now. Okay, where's my little clicker? All right, now that those festivities, we're going to go on to our competition. So Marge is our chair of competition. I'm going to hand things off to her. But last week, or last big competition, Richard set the stage, and I got to really give him credit. We did digital editing on the images after we read the judges' comments and what the scores are, and we're going to do that again. And I'm discussing with Marge that, and it's just light editing. We're not going to do compositing where we put a giraffe on somebody's body or something, but just, suggestions of how things could be improved, because, we do critique nights here and everybody likes those. We just got done with our fundamentals class and we do a critique at the very end of that, and they bring in images and they just love that. And it's a way to learn, because we're photographers helping photographers. So rather than just getting a score and some comments, you're also going to get opportunity to see how things could be changed. So with that, I'm going to turn things over to Marge. There were 2 copies. Yes. No, there's another. Oh, do you have a copy? He's got a copy. Oh, you want a copy of this? I only had 3. I'm sorry. Yeah. You know how to get your other one up there. Let me turn myself off here. You're live though. If you want to go sign in, just tap the little
Hi, everybody. I'm Marge, chairman of the bee competitions, and yeah, you better clap. So this is the first time I've done this, so I'm expecting some technical difficulties, so just bear with me. For some reason, when we put the pictures in Lightroom, they did not download in the order that they're being critiqued, so there's going to be a little bit of hesitation. And I'm going to try to edit the pictures as per the judge's comments. I'm not going to do anything real fancy, but hopefully I can, show you what the judges recommended. Yes, this is the very first one.
Okay, so you're reading for Neil?
No, I'm me.
I'm sorry, you
That's
are
the-
you.
That's the maker.
She's reading as Donna.
Okay.
That's the maker. So this image is it's a nice image, very colorful. Oh, maybe I need to talk into it. Okay. All right. So this is a colorful image, and your first thought is it's centered, but it's okay to have a centered image when it's symmetrical. And because the way she has her hands out even, we now have a symmetrical picture. One thing that you could work on is the background is very bright and your eyes go to brightness right away. And so I'm fighting with her and the brightness. So if you could darken the background somehow, I think you would, the picture would be enhanced, and she's going to do that. It's obviously probably not that dark, but but you see the point is now she stands out and you're not fighting with the darkness. Good job, Marge.
Yeah, so the way you do that, if you use Lightroom, is you just click on the little mask tool and then select background, and then the color of your mask will come up, and then you just change your settings. So,
Asian Festival Dancer, Neil Hazen, 20 points.
Okay, I'm reading for Beverly Kenworth. Is that right? Yeah. So she said, I appreciate the detail highlighted by the various textures and shades of green. The frog is in good focus, and the aperture helps to separate the head from the background. This is a good photo. It has potential to be so much better. A few improvements could quickly bring up the score. Number one, a vignette around the edge would give a more finished look and take away the boxiness. Number two, the brightest spot or area in a photo draws your eye. In this case, the upper back and neck seems a bit bright. This issue could be easily corrected in post or in camera by watching your histogram. The area that will most often make or break a wildlife photo is the eyes. Eyes are worth spending the time to get right and can bring great life to a subject. In this case, the eyes are very flat. By bringing life and light to the eyes, your entire photo will come alive. My other suggestion would be a lesser crop. Give him a little more room to move.
all right, so I put a little bit of a vignette in there on the edges. As far as the eye, possibly using the brush and masking the eye off, and then lightening up the shadows might bring a little bit more of the eye detail out. Now there's just a little bit of detail in the eye where before there wasn't. If anybody has any questions, just let me know.
Oh, that was Blending In by Stephen Page, 20 points.
Okay, I'm Brian O'Riordan, reading for Brian O'Riordan. On this particular photo, this image combines color, texture, and geometry, and it's almost an abstract. The composition is a bit off because of the lack of space above the window, and perhaps because the viewer might be expecting to see reflections in the window, or even some hint of what's behind the window. Abstract, to my mind, is the elimination of the context in the story. And the abstract relies more on an impression rather than engagement. And this is somewhere in between the two. I'd like to see more detail behind the window and a little bit more space on the top.
Well, I can't do anything about the space on the top, but I
That's
can,
what you got AI.
what?
That's AI.
Don't know how to use that to that extent. Sorry. Um, so, yeah, well, one way maybe of getting more detail behind the windows is to highlight them. I don't know. We'll see if that works.
Or dehaze.
Something back there.
I
There
tried,
is something coming.
I tried dehaze.
He suggested dehaze.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
Oh, it's, yeah, this, there we go.
Whatever it is, there is something back there though.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you have something to draw the eye back into the picture, then gives it a little bit more dimension, and it gives you the idea that there's a story behind this, and it's not just shapes.
That's Broken Wheel by David Williams, 20 points.
Oops. Sorry. Oh, no, don't do, no Photoshop. Don't do that. Okay, there we go.
Okay, this is a beautiful image. Your capture is spot on. The butterfly and the flower are very sharp. I actually really like the position of the butterfly. It's at an angle. That's always more interesting. And then you have the curving flower behind it. It makes a great composition. You selected a good depth of field that blurred the background effectively. You can see a little bit of color back there, but we can't tell what it is. The only suggestion I had is you might use a radial gradient and brighten up the center just a little bit more. But it's a beautiful image.
Did you mean
Yeah,
the
it's like
center
the-
of the butterfly?
Yeah, like if I'd put a radial there and it just like, it's fine. Just brighten it up a little bit. We'll see how it goes. Well, yeah, I would do it with highlights. Anyway, yeah, a little bit bright. Okay.
Okay.
It was almost like a inverse vignette, but okay. Yeah, get separation.
Okay.
Butterfly on the Butterfly Bush, Denise Owens, oh man, Owesney Richardson, 24 points, third place.
This is called Colorful. Beverly Kenworthy says there are several things I really like about this portrait. The subject is beautiful, and unlike many, people can carry off the bright colors. The wrap, the face paints, and the jewels, along with the crown of flowers against the soft, neutral background, set off the outfit without it being overwhelming. The lighting is complementary, shadows are soft. My taste would call for a lesser crop. Quite often, the subject needs to take a deep breath and needs room to do it. There is one aspect of the photo, however, that fails: the nearly closed eyes. You lost the best feature of the photo. I hope the photographer took a number of shots and that somewhere in the file is a photo with her eyes open. The concept was great, the execution was not.
Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. Colorful by Jeannie Hill, 21 points, honorable mention.
Don't close it, just in the middle too.
Yes.
Okay, we're okay. Sorry.
Okay, how do I get my pictures back?
20.
Oh, no, she's trying, she needs bridge to see the picture.
It's 20 on your screen.
It's 20 on your screen.
Maximize.
Make this bigger. That's okay, I think I can.
It doesn't look like we're streaming is what I'm doing here.
Oh my gosh, no, it's they're not in order now.
Mess this
I,
up.
you know what, maybe I shouldn't have put.
We can just tell you the number for the bottom of this one. 20,
20,
it's 20 in Lightroom.
Okay. This is bridge that I want.
There you
Bridge
go.
would show me, okay.
Now hit maximize.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I got to make two sets of comments here. One is more about the composition, and then the other is about some of the detail in it. I think this image is a very good capture of the energy and enthusiasm of the two runners. The contrast of their ages, and importantly, the backdrop of a nondescript sky, sea, and sand. The division into thirds works well. Any change in the proportions of subjects to the surrounding change the balance and the meaning of the image. The photographer can crop or expand the image and suggest entirely different responses. As shown here, I particularly like this choice. I like the even division between the three bands. I like the features of the silhouettes being just far enough off that you look at the whole composition instead of just the people. And the fact that there's nothing in the sand, nothing in the sea, and nothing in the sky brings your attention right to those two and the energy that they have. And I like that a lot. If you were going to play with it, you wanted more detail to show the where this is being taken, then you might do some things with the sky, with the sea, and the sand to bring out either more contrast or some more detail. You might do that with dehaze or one of those other types of modifiers. But you see there's stuff there, but really it's not, there's no real interest in that. I kind of like it the way it was.
Friend or foe, Denise Owesny Richardson, 22 points, honorable mention.
Sorry. Glass Garden. This is a very colorful image and has a lot of potential. But this is a situation where when I teach composition, I tell people, you have to use your feet. So I think this is a case where you would need to find a different point of view. And the reason I'm saying that is because the background and whatever's in that building back there is very distracting. And I'm looking at the colors and my eyes are going back there. So maybe you could have squatted down and not got that part of the building in, or you could have moved further to the right and shot in a different direction. So it's real. I think what you really need to do is you have to get rid of that. You always have to look at the background because people are trying to figure out what's going on back there.
Go ahead, Dan.
Glass Garden, Gail Graves, 17 points.
Okay, this is entitled Hilton Head. Beverly says the beach scene has a piece about it that sometimes can be hard to capture. The tiny speck of sun lighting the beach and water, the soft color reflected on the water from the peach tones in the sky, great soft texture throughout, adds great interest to the canvas. The silhouette is sharp and well contrasted, giving it great importance in the photo. With it being such an important element, I recommend cropping about half of the sky away from the top. At the bottom, expand the canvas a similar amount and give the boy his head back. The entire photo would now be complete and quite pleasing.
Well, I can't do anything about his head, but I can, I don't know.
That's Hilton Head by Ann Williams, 23 points, honorable mention.
This image certainly engages the curiosity of the viewer. Uh, Stalactites are formed by gravity, which doesn't seem to be at work here. So the best I can figure is this is the inside of some hollowed out tree. I'm not sure exactly what the orientation is, though. But science aside, being able to see further back into the shadows would add helpful context. Flash does not lend itself to that task. Time allows, perhaps a tripod and a long exposure might be a better approach. A larger frame would also provide a little bit more context.
Hollow Log, Ann Williams, 16 points.
This image is titled Just a Peek. This is a very creative image. You obviously spent time in the church and walked around in the sanctuary. I like the idea that you're looking through to see the altar at the front. I'm torn between whether this outer edge should have been sharp or out of focus. You could go either way. The one thing I thought that you might try again, if you went, is I would try to get the peak of the, where the cross is directly under the center of the photo. It's just off, you're just out of kilter enough to make it obvious. If it was a lot off, then you might not, it might bite the same issue, but if you just needed to step one direction or the other. But a very creative photo.
Go ahead, Dan.
Just a Peek, Jeannie Hill, 21 points, honorable mention.
This is entitled Let's Go Fishing by Gail Graves. Beverly says this photo has a very pleasing soft color. The first to catch the eye was the sky. It's a beautiful combination of hues lighting an industrial setting. The dock pulls a few reflections in the puddle, the green tone of the boat windows, the white body of the boats. All the fishing rods lined up and ready for the next day. It is rare in my experience to not be sure what the subject of a photo is. I think in this case it is the pilings whose position requires them to be. But what is also unusual is such defined rule of 3 pieces to the scene. The sky is part 1, the dock is part 2, and the boats part 3. Technically, this is well done. The lighting is well balanced. The rule of thirds adds order. The pilings draw a line between the 3 elements, tying them together. The real estate sign is distracting, though removal would take more skill than most beginners have.
Let me see if I can remove it. Let's see how good the AI is here. Oh, it's gone. Woohoo! Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so that was just done using the remove tool and selecting use generative AI, and it just knew what I wanted to get rid of and got rid of it. It's like a miracle. Yeah.
It's Let's Go Fishing by Gail Graves, 21 points, honorable mention.
The two figures in this image are clearly intended to be seen together, and perhaps a more panoramic view would better suit the scene, giving more room on the left and a more complex view of this particular, a more complete view of this particular memorial. This appears to be shot with a telephoto lens, which is more sensitive to depth of field. The foreground and background are blurred, but in this case, they distract rather than add dimension to the image. The black and white choice and darker overall exposure make the chain and cross the only detailed element in the image. If that is the intent, cropping around the figure on the right could eliminate a great deal of the distracting surroundings. Nonetheless, more definition of the stone figures would improve the impact of the image.
Maybe opening the shadows might help a little bit too.
Morning in Stone, Melissa Fargo, 18 points.
Okay, I know it's here somewhere.
The title of this image is Passing Through. This is a good capture of a red-shouldered hawk. Not easy to do. I like the position of the wings. You've got, you see all the beautiful colors that are there. The bird is a bit soft. Not sure what depth of field you used or the shutter speed. Shutter speed should be for flying birds should be at least 1/1000th of a second. Compositionally, the hawk has enough room in front of it, but it's centered. So you might want to consider cropping a little bit off the right-hand side. And in post-processing, you might want to darken down that white spot in the bottom left corner. Nice job.
So how does that look to you? Better? Yes.
Just to see it go through, and if you get it again, we'll go back. Just when we're all done, we get up there.
Probably done a vignette around it. How does that look? Does that look a little better?
That's Passing Through by Stephen Page, 20 points.
Okay, this is Sunrise, Emerald Lake, British Columbia, Canada, by Neil Hazen. Beverly says, looking out across the wilderness can be magical, especially as we lose the light. But nighttime does not eliminate the need for thoughtful composition or consideration of problems common to low-light photography. Digital noise can overwhelm texture and detail, keeping you from being able to appreciate the full beauty of the photo you made. This is something we all face as photographers. Most resolve it in post. Using the available light on the leaves to brighten the trees was a very good choice. Drawing attention to fine detail in that way makes the photo come alive. The mountains are not enough to carry the mass of the tree on the right in this composition. It also does not add any value to the photo artistically. By cropping that tree 1/3 of the photo, you will gain much more elegant and pleasing result. To further enhance this photo, a few bright spots on the taller tree will provide a bit of sparkle.
That's cropping. And then that's noise reduction. And I'm not sure what she means by sparkling. Few bright spots on the taller tree. Ah, okay. So that's what it looks like with some of the noise taken out of it. Okay.
Sunrise Emerald Lake, BC, Canada. Neil Hazen, 16 points.
Okay, this is an interesting approach to framing a sunset. Whether the intent was to capture the colorful sunset or the iron and the droplet, a much larger depth of field would add definition to the background and reveal contrast in the trees and the sky. Much of the texture of the iron is lost because it's dark underexposed. Post-processing could bring that out a bit. It would also have been interesting to shoot an extreme close-up of the droplet. You might get the reflection of the background in the droplet.
An extreme close-up of the water droplet looks like.
You're not gonna see it from that angle. You won't see it from that angle.
Okay.
Lighten up the black.
Under basic.
You probably want to do the back differently, so the iron is good.
Does that look good? All right, so that was just done by eliminating some of the shadows and going up on the exposure. Now you can see the rust spots in the metal.
That's Water Drop by David Williams, 18 points.
Okay, bright colored fungi. These mushrooms are captured with some really nice texture. And there's also some water drops in there, and I just love water drops. There are a lot of things to look at, but I don't know where you want me, I don't know where the maker wants me to focus. Photos like this can be difficult. And the best thing you can do is find a pattern, something that's repetition. And so the best on this one, maybe if you just cropped out the right, so you have a set of stacked mushrooms on the left, which are much sharper than everything else, would be one potential for getting some pattern. See, now now you know what to look at. The other one, there was just too much and then it was fading off into the background. But when you have these natural elements, there's lots of them. You just need to spend some time walking around and trying to find some kind of pattern that makes sense.
Waves of Fungi, or Fungi, whatever you want to call it.
Fungi.
Melissa Fargo, 18 points.
This is entitled Classic Headlight by David Williams. Beverly says, it would be hard to walk by without taking a moment to look. We all love bright, shiny objects and rich color. Your focus highlights also reflect and can be distracting. The lighting overall is okay, but when working with reflection, keep in mind that you need better control over your light sources. The background would better suit this photo if it was darker. There are many ways to achieve that, from physically using a background or drape to masking and changing exposure. You might also want to clean up the light spots. Although a matter of taste, I would have preferred a looser crop. You did a nice job. A little tweaking will make the photo shine.
I'm trying to just get rid of the background up here. It wants to get rid of all of it except for the light. Ah. Hmm. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, I didn't do such a good job of painting there, but you get the idea. And then I'm wondering, would decreasing the highlights maybe get rid of some of the bright spots on the, maybe not really. Mm-mm. Yep, yep, they're there. Okay.
Classic Headlight, David Williams, 20 points.
The aurora borealis provides a spectacular version of the night sky, which is also reflected on the ground below. The color saturation in this image have been enhanced a bit. Even most digital cameras, when they take pictures of the aurora, they come out a little bit brighter than what you see with your eye. The color saturation in this image may have been enhanced. A more subtle display would still be dramatic. Since there is little definition in the sky, it is important to ensure that the rest of the image is tack sharp. This usually requires manual focusing on whatever portion of the distant foreground has the most detail. In this case, I think it's the tree. Combined with an appropriate aperture, and you get a more defined photo. The proportion of the sky to the ground is a good choice, and it might even have been extended to an even broader panorama if the lens that you were using permitted it.
So I just decreased the vibrance and the saturation a little bit. Is that what you had in mind, Brian? Any other suggestions? Okay, Dan.
Farmland Aurora, Gail Graves, 19 points.
This is called Groovy Light Painted Leaf. This is a beautiful photograph. I wish I had taken it. It's very artistic. Love the sharp, colorful, textured leaf with the muted reflection. Nicely done. Nothing I would do to it. Great job.
Groovy Light Painted Leaf, Denise Owesney Richardson, 26 points, first place.
This is called Light Angel by Ann Williams. Beverly says translucent color could be complemented and take on a finished look by adding a highlight vignette with a large feather. Recognizing focus on an abstract photo can be fleeting. Is there even focus at any point in this? Yet, looking at the photo, I believe the smallest diamond was intended to be in sharp focus. The other parts of this that does not take on the same property as other elements of design is the red solid base. It seems to anchor the design rather than become part of it. In the end, you have built a composition that pleases you. Congratulations.
Okay, when she said a highlight vignette, does she mean a light vignette or a dark vignette? Like that with a big feather. Okay, all right, Dan.
Light Angel by Ann Williams, 21 points, honorable mention.
This is a really good example of how dimensionality can be achieved by composition rather than just depth of field. The symmetry of the reflection and the leading line through the arch, they contribute to the composition that I think is quite pleasing. The square crop is a bit tight on the top and the bottom, but I don't think it detracts that much. Black and white was a really good choice to reveal the engaging geometry without distraction from colors. And I think those trucks are yellow. I like this one.
Okay, Dan.
London Reflections, Jeannie Hill, 25 points, second place.
This is a nice ocean scene with a beautiful lighthouse. You use the shutter speed to capture the wave action. That was good. Your placement of the lighthouse and the palm tree anchors the photo. You can improve on your image with a few small changes. First, straighten the horizon line. It's tilting to the right. You could also open the shadows on the cliff and get a little more detail. That now balances against the bright background. You have a little bit of light in the front. To see.
Okay, Dan.
Point Vicente Lighthouse, Stephen Page, 20 points.
Beverly says black and white can offer drama to nature you will never acquire with color. You get to sample texture, light, and shadows in a very pure form without the noise brought along by color. In the right bottom corner of this frame, you can enjoy each small layer as nothing but light, shadow, and texture. I appreciate the sweep of the elements arriving to settle in that corner where nature allowed them to rest. Nicely done, be proud.
Okay, Dan.
Texture of Life, Melissa Fargo, 23 points, honorable mention.
Okay. This fellow has an absolutely great beard and grin and had the audacity to wear sunglasses and a brimmed hat on a harsh sunny day. If Phil Flash was available, it might help to bring out more detail under the brim of the hat and of the smile as well. Sunglasses are difficult, but the reflections might be worth seeing. For this image, if post is available, a bit of vignetting, bringing up the shadows and dropping down the highlights, and boosting the vibrance slightly to catch the gold shine might be tried. Great subject to photograph.
How's that, Brian? Does that look good, Brian, or did you have more vignette? Does it look okay now? How's that? That look? That good? Okay,
The Mad Hatter, Neil Hazen, 19 points.
and that concludes our competition. No. Does anybody have any questions or any comments?
Well, I want to thank everybody for participating and encouraging people entering a bee competition. Thanks to Marge for doing our digital editing, and thanks to the people who entered.
Richard does it much better.
Hang around and enjoy each other's company. Mental health.
I think our next bee competition is the very end of January. I think January 30th possibly.
Yeah. Still popcorn out there, right, Jen?
Well, thank you all for participating.
I wouldn't want to do that. When everybody's watching.
Just for the heck of it. Hit this guy and hit from beginning, just so they've got some at home. This will be like that.